Joined now by Tim May of 97.1 The Fan and Letterman Row, along with Joey Kaufman of the Columbus Dispatch. And Tim, Ohio State, it did not go the way they hoped. We thought they would win, but how big of a loss was Trey Sermon on the first play? I know the answer. It was a huge loss. And then Tommy Togiai. I mean, those were two guys they could not afford to be without.
Dom, I'm not saying those two guys are the best players on either offense or defense, but if you had to alter Ohio State's plan, both offensively and defensively, and you wanted to take two players out of the lineup that would do that, it would have been Trey Sermon, who they had just established a big-time running attack with, and Tommy Togiai, who gave you that undeniable push up the middle against what was going to be a less mobile quarterback in Mac Jones. Yeah, losing those two guys when they did, respectively, really hurt Ohio State's chances in that game.
You know, Joey, congratulations to Alabama. They won the game. I mean, I was impressed with them. With that said, clearly Ohio State was not 100%. Justin Fields was not 100%. Do you think they should have kicked that game back a little bit and gave them some time to get over some of the COVID woes, hopefully, but Justin Fields was not 100% in that game.
No, I think there were going to be a lot of logistical issues with pushing it back a week. You had the NFL draft deadline for early entrances Monday, so that would have complicated things. School starts for a lot of these for both Alabama and Ohio State this week. And Justin Fields' injury was not COVID related. It was just, I think, a fact of playing football. Last year, he had a knee injury in the playoffs and wasn't 100% against Clemson, and the unfortunate timing is this year he has the shot to the torso against Clemson, and that hurts him against Alabama. And they needed Justin Fields to be superhuman to compete with this Alabama offense and really replicate the heroic effort from 2 weeks ago against Clemson in the Sugar Bowl. And that was a tall order. I mean, that was a historic game where he throws 385 yards and 6 touchdown passes, and to ask somebody to do that on a week-to-week basis, I think is just a tall order.
All right, Tim, let's look ahead to next year. Ryan Day said it best when he was asked after the game. He said, we just need a break. We need a rest. We need to get away from football. I know that's taken place, but the spring practice is just around the corner. Obviously, they're going to lose guys to graduation. They're going to lose guys early to the NFL draft. With that said, can this team reload with what they've got coming back?
Well, definitely they can reload. I mean, what they really need a rest from is getting swabs stuck up their nose, every day. But I digress. Yeah, bottom line is they do have big-time players on this team from a talent standpoint, guys who need to be developed. Obviously getting Thayer Munford back, declaring he's going to come back gives you that wheel horse on the offensive line. But losing Josh Myers, for example, and probably losing Wyatt Davis, that's a big hit. They showed the last several weeks, though, that they have some depth in the offensive line room. So that's a good starting point. C.J. Stroud looks like he might be the heir apparent at quarterback, but, we'll see how that goes. He clearly has shown he's got some talent, at least to these guys in practice. And then defensively, they needed a reset in the defensive backfield no matter what's coming. But now you look at the linebacker situation, probably losing all of those guys. That's going to be where the real rebuilding is going to come.
Joey, as you look at this Ohio State football team and we compare them to what Alabama is, and Ryan Day kind of said after the game, that's now the level. I mean, they used it to beat Clemson. They're going to want to get back at Alabama. What is missing from Ohio State as you look at Alabama and Ohio State? Are they that far behind?
I don't think they're far behind because they're number 2 in the country this year. They're essentially the runner-up. The hard part of competing with Alabama is Alabama has arguably the greatest coach in Nick Saban in modern college football history. He's won 6 national titles now at Alabama, and they have the best talent. They have the best roster. They win the recruiting title every year. They're going to finish number 1 in the 247 rankings for the 2021 class. So that's the challenge. I think what you hope for is you maybe can beat Alabama on an off year, that your great year with a veteran quarterback is when Alabama is trending downward or just not at full level. Alabama was at full level this year, maybe the best team Nick Saban's had at Alabama. What you hope for if you're Ohio State is maybe your peak is when they're a little bit slightly down.
Tim, let's change subjects real quick. Urban Meyer, we know him as well as anyone. He has decided to get back into coaching. He's going to coach Jacksonville, a team that has struggled for years. They were 1-15 this past year. I'll be honest with you, Tim. I'm a little bit shocked that he got back into it. He had a good life. He was doing great on Fox, but at the end of the day, he's who we thought he was. He's a football coach. But does it surprise you he's going to try the NFL?
Dom, you could see him on those Fox shows when they were occasionally making small talk, how he was champing at the bit to talk football, get into football, etc. This is a perfect storm for him from the sense of you've got a chance to draft a franchise quarterback. I do believe he'll take Trevor Lawrence. As much as I've talked with him about him, he really thinks he's a big time talent. He's got the largest salary cap space by far in the NFL. He's going to hire a brand new staff, etc. It's almost a perfect storm to build a football team. And I think he's looking at it as number one, a great challenge for him, something he's never taken on. But then number two, he's champing at the bit to be on the sidelines, to be part of the fray again. And I give it up to him for taking this shot because, why not? He's 56 years old. I keep up with that because he's 10 years younger than me. And he's still a young man in coaching circles. So, if he can handle the arachnoidal cyst in his head and stuff, and it doesn't bother him enough, then I think you might be surprised. He might do a great job at Jacksonville.
Well, real last thing, what's your gut feeling? I mean, this guy's won everywhere he's gone. There's no reason not to think he's going to be a success at the next level, right?
Yeah, but I had a good friend of mine equated as going from college football to the NFL is like going from college basketball to the NBA. You're dealing with grown men, you're dealing with stars, you're dealing with guys everywhere from 20 to 40 years old. And that could even be on your coaching staff, even older than that. But the bottom line is, yeah, it's all about organization. And you and I both know, man, we've been around him a lot. This guy knows how to push buttons as well as anybody I have ever met. Forget about X's and O's and stuff. His approach to the psychological part of the game and in that area is unparalleled, in my opinion, even with Nick Saban. So I really believe he's going to do well if, in fact, he gets the right people around him.